Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Hale with Witness the Light Music, and thank you for joining me again for another tutorial. This one is for all you voiceover, tutorial, creation, content creators that are using a Apollo that have the ability to use what is called as Unison technology that UAD has developed for their specific interfaces. This is going to help you get your vocals to sound nice and clean while you're recording your voiceovers. If you're doing audiobooks or if you're doing tutorials similar to me, this is what's going to help you to get your vocals to sound nice, clean, crisp, compressed, and just perfectly the way you want them to sound, the way you hear the pros. All right. So right now I have my microphone completely in my face, but also one of the reasons is my microphone settings right now are being controlled by this API channel strip. This API channel strip is what you're hearing me through right now. So the API, they pretty much took an emulation of an old API mixing console and emulated it digitally. So now we have pretty much as if I have this microphone plugged into a old API console. Not old, but this one's the channel strip, the legacy version. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to record myself reading a passage of one of my favorite books, one of my favorite mixing books. And then from there, I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the exact same EQ in Pro Tools that I can use with my console from UAD. And I'm going to EQ my vocals, and then I'm going to create that as my chain for my tutorial recordings and all that. So here we go. Let's jump into it right now. So I'm going to bring up the book that I'm reading, Compressing Vocals. That's going to be the passage. Let's get Pro Tools recording. Yeah. There we go. So Pro Tools is now recording, and I'm just going to read this passage. Compressing vocals. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level differences so it's easier to hear every word. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required on a vocal can vary a great deal. Some vocalists are so consistent that only a dB or two is needed, but it's not uncommon to use as much as 10 dB or more on some vocals either. Here's how to set up the compressor on a vocal. All right, there we go. So passage has been read. I have my vocal recording right here. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to drop it down into a channel, and I have my API loaded up. This is great. You can see we have some dynamic pieces, and then we have some, a little bit lower in volume pieces, which is great, which will get us a good amount of material to EQ, especially because I'm using a specific mic. This mic, as much as it's a Rode podcast mic, it's in my space. I have treatment in my room. I try to control most of the reflections in the room. It's still not going to sound perfect, even though I have a nice silky, smooth voice. I'm still going to have some things that I need to control. I need to clean up. And I'm going to do that with this plugin. So this is the exact same plugin that I have right now opened up on my UAD console, right? It's just flat. So let's bring that out. Let's bring up this. And now let's start working through the chain. I'm going to play back and we're going to hear what we got. There we go. So Pro Tools is now recording, and I'm just going to read this passage. Compressing vocals. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level differences so it's easier to hear every word. Wow. I'm doing exactly what you're not supposed to do. I'm making moves on a EQ with the bypass on. Rookie move. Here we go. Let's do it again. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, And some words get... All right, I like that. So if I go up to 100 there, I start to feel like it is a little bit over thinned out. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level differences, so it's easier to hear every word. Cool, I like that. 50 is nice. I moved the microphone away from my face because I don't need to be so loud right now. But I have, I'll be increasing the gain while I'm in the Apollo console API strip. All right, so before we move on to compression, let's just mess around with the EQ and see what we can do. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level differences, so it's easier to hear every word. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same... Okay, I like 300. Now let's move up to the low-mid frequencies. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level difference. Ooh, you hear that? So that 240 is boxing me up. So let's put that down -4. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level. Cool, I like that. All right, now let's move up to the high-mid frequencies. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level differences, so it's easier to hear. Okay, so what I heard a little bit was, because I boosted at 300, there's a little bit of the wind coming from my voice into the capsule. So let me control that a little bit more. Most singers aren't able to sing every word. Okay, I like that. Now, I don't want to sound too cupped, so I'm going to adjust the high-mid frequencies up a bit. We'll see what we can do. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Compression helps to even out the level differences, so it's easier to hear every word. Most singers... I like that. Okay, cool. Let's move on to... So what I did was I moved my... The high-mid frequency. I moved it up 4 dB, 10K. I think that's giving me some of the clarity I'm looking for. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required on a vocal can vary a great deal. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required... Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that. 10K, 4 dB boost. Now here is the high frequency. I don't want to boost too much because I'm going to start getting some sibilance. But if I do boost enough that gives me clarity, that's going to be great. I'm going to have to use a different plugin in the same chain in order to control that sibilance. Let's take a look. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required on a vocal can vary a great deal. Depending on the vocal style. Some vocalists are so consistent that only a dB or 2 is needed, but it's not uncommon to use as much as 10 dB or more on some vocals either. Here's how to set up the compressor on a vocal. Some vocalists are so consistent that only a dB or 2 is needed, but it's not uncommon to use as much as 10 dB or more on some vocals either. Okay, so 12.5K at 4 dBs, I boosted. I have instead of a high frequency, a shelf, I kind of put it in the, what you would call the bell setting. So creating a little bit of a bell. Let's see if I change that, see if it can change the game here. Some vocalists are so consistent that only a dB or 2 is needed, but it's not uncommon to use as much as 10 dB. Okay, I like that. So let's bypass the EQ. Let's see what we got. Some vocalists are so consistent that only a dB or 2 is needed, but it's not uncommon to use as much as 10 dB or more. Not bad. Okay, so now tonally I'm set where I want to be. Now let's do some compression. We're reading a book about compression. Let's mess around and see what we can do. Let's see what the API does for us. Here we go. Depending on the vocals. Okay, so typically how I set my compressors, let's do a fast attack. Sorry, let's go with a slow attack. Is that the attack? Where is it? The release is here. Yeah, so let's do a medium attack, a fast release, 4:1 ratio, and then mess with the threshold. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required on a vocal. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors. Well, I'm not getting much here. What's going on? Depending on the compressor was off. See? You see? Here we go. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement. Okay, well, we'll keep it at 4. We'll do the slow attack. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of. Okay, we'll do that. It leaves it at auto, and then the hard knee, soft knee, type new. Let's just see what the threshold does for us. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required on a vocal. Depending on the vocal style, the song and arrangement, the mic technique, and any number of other factors, the amount of compression required on a vocal. Depending on the vocal style. Cool. I like that. All right, let's keep going. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and some words get buried in the mix as a result. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line. All right, so on. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level. Off. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line. You can hear it just kind of wake up a bit. I like that. I like where the compression is set. Let's keep that. I love it. Now, another thing that I can mess with here is going to be the gate. The gate is going to be a little tricky in a sense that it's all dependent on how much volume I'm plugging into my my channel strip, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix the gain into my channel strip. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line at the same level, and that's going to affect my threshold. Most singers aren't able to sing every word or line. Okay, cool. Not a problem though. So let's mess with the gate, because what I want to see and what I want to do is while I'm doing a tutorial, I don't want background noise to kind of pop in there in between my breaths or in between my pauses. So let's see what the gate can do for me. Compressing vocals. So I want the gate to come down completely here, right in between here. I want all of a sudden the gate to come completely down. Here we go. Pressing vocals. Most singers pressing vocals. Most singers pressing vocals. Okay, so let's do it faster. Pressing vocals. Pressing vocals. Most singers pressing vocals. So it's a little weird, eh? Pressing vocals. Most singers pressing vocals. Most pressing vocals. Pressing vocals. Most. Let's see if I can find another spot right here in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to in the mix as a result. Compression helps to. All right, you hear that? That is a little bit more significant. Let's go over here and see if it'll also give me that gate reaction that I'm looking for. Vocal can vary a great deal. Vocal can vary a great deal. A great deal. Some vocalists are so consistent, but it's not uncommon to use as much as 10 dB or more on some vocals either. Here's how to set up the compressor on a vocal. So another point to this would be if, for example, I stop completely, I want there to be no audio from the background. Here's how to set up the compressor on a vocal. Okay, there's nothing there. Let's turn it on. Here's how to set up the compressor on a vocal. Hear that? Okay, let's see. Here's how to set up the compressor on a vocal. Okay, so it catches my lip smacking right here. Not a problem, but I think what I've accomplished here is sufficient enough for what I'm trying to do. It's going to allow the compressor, sorry, the gate to come down when I'm done talking. And then from there, if I start again, a small little conversation or a small little word that I'm doing, it's going to open up for me. So let's leave it at that setting. It's a little extreme, but I like it. And I can always mess around with it when it's time. Okay. So now this is how I'm going to, I forgot my last move on this is going to actually be, let us add a de-esser. De-esser. Oh, I changed up the sound. Cool. Let's add a de-esser. So let's move forward and get that de-esser on there. But let's do that. There we go. All right. So I got my API from the console, Unison console. Let's put all these settings in. So this volume is there. Now high pass amount of 50. Make sure it's on. Compressor is on. 15. About 10. And we're going to go at about a 4 with a automatic attack, a soft knee, and a new type of compressor for the tone that they do. And 12.5 with a 4 dB boost also in the 10K, and then a 2 dB cut in the 240. And then now we're going to put a 2 dB boost on the 300. Ooh, there we go. All right, now let's move over to the gate. I'm going to do a fast gate. Fast is a deep threshold, a deep gate on it, I'd say, the depth, and then a fast 50 millisecond release. Oh, there we go. You see how that's happening? Okay. So the second that I stop talking, the gate comes in. So now I can fix that. If I just kind of bring the depth up, and it doesn't go as quick as before. And if I change the attack, maybe the attack on neutral or auto, check. That's not bad. Now let's see what this has to do. This hold release. No, it's too much. So the release is a little quick. Let's see if I increase the release a bit. There we go. So it's a kind of a gradual release versus a quick release. 75 milliseconds. And maybe a 1.5 also sounds nice, where it's going to release a bit slower. But I think, you know what? Let's just bring it over to a 0.25. The threshold is probably good. Yeah, see, we need the threshold maxed out. And then the depth is going to help sort of to make it sound smooth. All right, so that's going to be the setting that I have for my API vision. All right, so let's go presets. Let's go and witness the light, and I'm going to save this. Save, and let's call this voice over EQ. Voice over EQ. Perfect. Now I have my voice over EQ. I am going to use the Manley VoxBox. Here we go. I do not want anything happening with the Manley VoxBox EQ just yet. But what I do want to do though is I want to control some of the De-Essing. So I'm going to go over here in the De-Essing section of the Manley VoxBox. I want to see how much I'm De-Essing by activating and bringing over the meter to tell me how much I am De-Essing. Now, this is the 12K, 9K, 6K, 3K range. I want it to be natural, so I'm going to bring the threshold all the way over this way. And now I feel like I have a lisp, and I speak español like the españolist. No, I'm just kidding. That's over exaggeration. Okay, 9K, 12K, 12K. How about that? Let's just start there. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that's going crazy. Okay, let's control it a bit more because I feel like I dulled myself out a bit. 9K. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry if that's in your earbuds and you're getting some heavy S's, sibilants. We want to control the sibilants. Okay, I like that. If it's not gonna hit too hard, but it is hitting a little bit on that 9K. Let's see if I can maybe bring it down a little bit so it only hits about minus 2, 3, 4 dB. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna step away a little bit from the mic, and I'm gonna step away a little bit just to sort of do a natural recording that I would do if I'm doing a tutorial. And usually this is how I have the microphone a little bit out of the way so I can also see my screen. I have my de-esser going, controlling that. I have the EQ from the API. So let's set this up here. Witness the light. This is going to be called my voiceover DS. Perfect. Voiceover DS. So this is all you can, all of this is to taste as well, depending on your space, your microphone, your voice, even the content that you're doing, right? I'm sort of intimate in your face sort of content where you're watching a screen, I'm in the corner, I'm not even there sometimes, and you're just hearing my voice, listening to what's being processed through Pro Tools and all the neat little plugins that I have. Well, or if you're a content creator that wants to do really in your face type of plugins, videos, this is very much so also something that you could use to get your vocals to sound prestige and nice and clean. So there's that. Thank you very much. If you liked this video, it was useful to you, and I made you laugh along the way, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you can get all the free stuff that I got for you here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you later.